Hello all and welcome to the Captain Entertainment video. It's Art here with the book review for The Sound of Rain by Gregg Olsen. It's the first book in his detective series novel. Well, it's supposed to be a detective series novel. It just simply isn't. There is a murder that takes place. She is, at the beginning of the book, a cop. And there's some political undertones that take her down. The main character anyway. But then it focuses mostly on her gambling addiction and her not being able to pay her bills and her being homeless and her being destitute for a vast majority of the book, to where it was a slog to get through. It was like being molasses on a cold day in January trying to go uphill. It was one of the books I had high hopes for that turned out to be a five-finger stinker, as I like to say. It's written well, but he forgets that he wrote a detective novel, and the detective isn't detecting. People don't get into a detective novel for gambling addiction, homeless stuff. They get in a detective novel to have the character solve a mystery. That's what they get into a detective novel for, and he did not do it in this case, and that's why this was such a disappointing book. It was a slog to get through. What was it written well? Yeah, but the contents were a slog to get through. Did it have some positive points? Yes. The beginning of the book, where you see the political intrigue, you hear about the death, and they're investigating, that felt like a detective novel. And if you wanted to add all the other stuff of her gambling addiction and how it's slowly taking her down into the mix, and how she has to fight that demon while trying to catch a killer, that's fine. Like, that's something that I would be on board for. But when it literally takes over, when the demon takes over the book, now yes, that may be what happened that may be what happens in real life. But we read these novels to solve a mystery, to escape from real life, not to have real life regurgitated to us, and it be a work of fiction. That was my biggest problem with it. That was now granted, it was a Kindle Unlimited read, so I didn't pay for it, so that's a plus. It's kind of like a library loan kind of thing. But it just was not good. It just was not what I bargained for going in. And I've read some Gregg Olsen stuff, and he's an excellent writer. This does not put me off Gregg Olsen, but he lost the plot on this one, and there's no uncertain way to say it. He lost the plot. He did not do a good job in what he needed to do. Like I said, if he would have had the gambling be the demon that she was wrestling with while she was trying to catch the bad guy, and it kind of interfere with her work, and she has to cover it up, and it's a dirty little secret that she covers up, but she's a good police officer, then that's fine. That's kind of like Harry Hula from the Joe Nesbo series and his drinking. It's kind of like Harry Bosch and his foster home thing. Like, all good detectives have it, and all good detectives should be flawed in some way. None of them should be perfect. They all should be flawed. Like Walt Longmire and the death of his wife Martha, like, that holds over him throughout the entire series. That's fine. Everybody has their thing that is flawed about them and kind of makes them tick in a slightly different way. However, when that tick takes over the entire book to where it envelops the book, to where the reader doesn't care anymore, that's where you've lost the plot, and that's where this book loses the plot. So if you're into reading something like that, this book might be for you. It was not for me. It is a 1 out of 5 on the GoodReads scale for me. It is a hard pass on my own scale. Will I continue to read Gregg Olsen novels? Yes. Will I continue to read this series? Probably not. It's just not worth my time. There are other good series out there that I am currently reading and haven't even started yet that I want to read that will grab my attention more than... But The Sound of Rain was god-awful. It was not a good book. Great title, great premise from the back of the book and the blurbs that I read, but in execution, it fell way short of the mark. It was like a pitcher throwing a baseball, and you're supposed to throw it 60 feet 6 inches, and he throws it 50 feet 5 inches. You know, and it rolls into home plate instead of zipping in and hitting the pocket like that. You know, good books, whether they be science fiction, or they be fantasy, or they be mystery, or they be literary fiction, historical fiction, when they hit the pocket, they hit the pocket. When they miss, they miss totally. So that's what this book did, and that is my review of this book. I can't sit and talk about this book anymore. Let me know if you had a different opinion about the book in the comments down below. I have to be brutally honest about the book. It's not that I want to hate on the book. I wanted to love the book. I wanted to have yet another series by an author I read before and liked to read. But this one just, it got off wrong-footed, and I'm not giving it a second chance to get on the right foot. It just is not for me whatsoever. But let me know in the comments down below if you had a different thought of it, or if you planned on reading this book and maybe this changed your mind. Let me know that in the comments down below too. But you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And without further ado, happier reading is ahead. I'll see you again soon. And peace.